Fantastic. So I've got a couple of pictures here. We've got one fish jumping out of a bowl. Got a question for you there. What does that picture mean to you? I want you to take a moment and write down some thoughts. What does that picture mean? You got this fish over here with all the other fish. They're jumping out of the bowl. Is that a metaphor for you? How would you explain that picture in light of what we're talking about? Okay? In light of what we're talking about. How would you explain that picture? Also, the picture of that caterpillar turning into a butterfly. What does that picture mean in light of what, in the light, through the light or through the lens of what we're talking about today? What does that picture mean to you? Growing in this mindset of production. Things, skills, character that we need to grow in. Characteristics that we need to get into our lives and build into our lives on an expanding scale as we grow up. You guys, once again, as you can see a statistic here, over 70% of the American workforce right now have said they either hate their job, get this, they hate their job or they are completely disengaged. We have a ton of this going on right here. There's a lack of engagement, and so people come to work every day as sucking consumers. So all of a sudden, again, that's tragic, but on the same hand, man, does it make it easy for you to stand out? It makes it easy for you to be a star employee. Just grow in these things, measure by measure, step by step. I want to finish up our session today, talking about how you can begin to become viable at work. I want to talk about what viable means. Viable, being a science teacher for a long time, viable simply means that you can live successfully. It's what it means in biology. We know that an embryo, we know that a offspring is viable when they can live apart from the parent, apart from the mother. It's called viable. In botany, with plants, viable simply means that you can germinate. All right? Ooh, sorry about that. Did I just say that? We could block this out if we need to. But germinate, not sure what just happened there, but everything just went away. All right, so we're going to let that happen. Germinate simply means that you can reproduce. This is what being viable is. So the question for you at work is, are you viable? Meaning, can you survive successfully without a manager or somebody helping you all the time? And number two, can you reproduce yourself, your character, your knowledge, your skills in the lives of other workers? Okay, so are you viable? So we're going to take a look at this last step here, how you become viable at work. So here we go. We're going to do viable. Right here. I'm going to go with blue. We doing okay?
Yeah, I didn't know I can bring that back up for you if you want.
No, I was erasing it, so we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Sorry.
Okay, that's just fine. So we have becoming viable at work. First of all, to become viable at work, as we see here, we need to have the ability to have vision. You've got to be able to see a picture that's bigger than just you. I need money, so I've come to work today. The vision, remember we've talked about this. How can I help you? That is the question. Every day when you come to work, how can I help you? It's not just at the front counter. How can I help you today? But it's with your coworkers. What do you need today? It's with your manager. How can I help you? It's with the owner of the company. What can I do to help you? What is your biggest pressure right now? Is there anything I can do to help with this? They may say, well, my biggest issue right now is our complex system to do ordering and the working with the vendors and all. And you might go, okay, I don't know how to do that. But is there something that I can do to help you today? Having the ability to see bigger than just yourself. And that's huge. I love this here, this phrase here. Without vision, you will compromise. I promise you. Without vision, you will compromise, because without a bigger picture of vision, the struggles of today will shut you down. Unfortunately, I just had a client that I talked with this past week. Been walking with him for about 3 months, trying to get him moving forward in his life. He's a business owner, and he's been overwhelmed, and he came to me, Clay, can you help me with this? And we've been going for 3 months, and I've been saying, here's what we need to do, here's what we need to do. We need to, and we always start with vision. And he wasn't able to see. He had so much pressure, so much weight on him. He was not able to get his head up and see the future in a positive light. And he called me this last week and he's going, Clay, I'm going to stop. I'm selling the store. I can't go any further. And I'm going, whoa, no, come on. You're making so much headway. You're doing so well. But he could not hang on to hope for the future. And so the pressures of today suffocated him. And that will happen with you. If you do not have vision for your life, if you don't have vision for the next step, then the pressures of today will overwhelm you. And they will keep you in a small box. Love this over here. We've got, remember this picture, guys? Concentric circles. This is how we grow. This is how we grow. In each of these levels, each time you move to a next level, you're going to have to grow, you're going to have to expand in each one of these qualities that we're talking about. It's not, oh, I got them all, so I'll be able to make it now all the way through. No. You're going to learn them here to survive, to thrive, and to provide. Oh, I love that right there. You want to be a survivor, you want to be a thriver, and you want to be a provider. But then when you move to the next level, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like this system starts all over again. There are greater measures of skill, knowledge, and character that I need to grow in to survive, to thrive, and provide in the next level. Does that make sense? So vision is so important. And what I found over and over is that people, they get into this next level and it's too much for them. It's overwhelming. Their capacity is here, but their responsibility is there. And rather than growing into that thing, they get shut down. Without vision, you will compromise. You'll change you've probably had this happen before in your life. I'm going to make A's. I'm going to make all A's this semester. I promise. I'm going to make all A's. That's the vision that you have. And you go to school, and the next thing you know, your buddies are doing something on the weekend. You really need to be studying, but you don't do it because you lost sight of the vision. Because now, what? I'm going to have to study for it? What? I'm going to have to work hard for it? What? I'm going to have to do that? I don't know if I want to do that. And you'll compromise on this. Next of all, the I on Bible is, give me the I on this. The I is? Intentive? Is that what the I is? Initiative. Yeah. So the I is initiative. Yeah, it's going, wait a minute. The I is initiative. You guys, your life gets better when you do. You have to take the initiative to grow. You have to take the initiative to move forward. So often we can expect other people to do it for us. Well, you don't understand what my life has been like. Okay, I get it. I get it. We all have some difficult things that we have to overcome. But you've got to take the initiative to move out of where you are so you can get to where you want to go. You have to take the initiative. To be viable at work, you have to take the initiative. Man, I tell you, I've had a ton of employees that have just had no initiative. They were just fine with coming to work doing exactly what I told them to do. I'm just going to do that. However, there are other people that come to work and they find new things to do. They expand. I don't even have to ask them. Let me help you with that. Hey, can I do that for you? Hey, let me go here. And you turn around and all of a sudden they've done stuff. Stuff that I didn't have to tell them to do. This is somebody taking initiative. I love this phrase right here. Without initiative, you'll become invisible. Without initiative, you will become invisible. What does that mean, Clay? What do you mean I'll become invisible? You will look like everybody else. You'll just look like everyone else. How about this? If you are not remarkable, you will be invisible. How do I become remarkable, Clay? How do I do this? I don't want to be invisible. How do I become remarkable? Simply take initiative. Go to work. How can I help you? What can I do? When you see something that needs to be done, do it. Pick up the piece of trash. There you go, right there. Bam, drop the mic, stop right there. Pick up the piece of trash when it needs to be picked up. Don't walk by it and go, man, someone should get that, and walk on. You get it. Had that happen before one time. Excuse me, could you pick that up? Yeah, it's not my shift. I'm on break. What? It doesn't fit. Take the initiative. I was speaking at an event one time in Las Vegas. big room in a hotel, one of the big casinos there. I'm in the back getting ready to go up. I'm thirsty, I'm a little parched. So I go to get a drink of water. The big water cooler right there is out of water. Just happens to be a guy standing there in uniform, all right, obviously an attendant, standing right next to it. I go, "Excuse me, sir, we're out of water." He did this. "I don't do water." And step back. It's like, are you kidding? Did you just say that? "I don't do water." I don't, okay. I get it. You don't do water. Can you go find the water guy for me? Type of thing. This was a young man that was not taking initiative. And when I got up to talk, I used him in the example. He was the one. Guys, there was just somebody in the back. I mean, I tell you, it was too good. You can't not use them. It was just perfect. I mean, it was a setup there. So, taking the initiative. If you don't take initiative, you will be invisible. Next one here, as we get to the A, is association. This is connecting to the right people. Remember, we were talking a little bit ago about helpful relationships. To become viable at work, I have to create associations. I want to associate myself with the right people. You guys know this, right? I mean, at school, if you don't associate with the right folks, certain doors won't get open for you. It goes on at work as well. Now, again, I've talked to a lot of folks that are above the right associations. I'm just going to be myself. Okay, I get it. I like being yourself. Okay, that's good. However, I want to make sure that I connect to the right people to allow doors to get opened up for me. All right? It's having those associations, this right here. Without right associations, you will be overlooked. You just won't be up for promotion because people, remember, going back to the invisible, people won't see you. They will see other people. With Will Anderson at the hospital, he is making the right associations. He is taking initiative. He has vision for where he's going. He's become a viable worker at the hospital. Next of all, I love the B here. The B, you got to have belief. Make this right there. Got to spell that right. You got to have belief. Guys, your belief has to be bigger than your struggle. There you go. Write that one down. Your belief has to be bigger than your struggle. If it's not, your struggle would shut you down. No, it's not going to happen for me. Can't happen. It can happen for them, but it'll never happen for me. And man, this is something I can get up and talk about for a long time because that was huge for me. 47 years of my life, I had a certain belief about me and what I would be able to accomplish and what I wouldn't be able to accomplish. Finally, I was introduced to a handful of people that were able to help me change what I was believing. And man, just in the last 5 years, my life has completely, radically changed because my belief has expanded. I had opportunities that were out here, but I didn't believe that it could be possible. My belief kept me in a smaller circle. I always wanted to be out here, but always felt this. Anybody know what I'm talking about on that? Raise your hand, just touch the camera if you need to, all right? But I wanted to go further, but my belief kept me from doing it. I love this here. If, without belief, you will never act. Oh, you'll stay, and you'll always have an excuse. Without belief, you will never act. Next of all, the L. L is leadership. Man, I could talk about leadership forever. Without leadership, you will never move forward. Without leadership, you will never move forward. Again, it goes along with having vision, initiative, association, and belief. But without leadership, without somebody in your life, without somebody showing you, without somebody helping you navigate the path, you'll get stuck. You won't know the answer. Or the problem is you'll think about it all the time, but the answers that you come to is the same answer you came up to yesterday and the day before and the day before. You'll always come up with the same answers. You need leadership. You need somebody in your life to become a viable worker, to become viable in your company, someone that is successful in your company. And Michaela, get this, if I am viable, I'll be viable in this company, that company, that company, that company, anywhere I go, I'm viable. Don't know what that was. Sorry about that, okay? I shouldn't have done that. Should have prepared you. Anywhere you go, you're viable because you have learned to have these characteristics in your life. And then finally, we come to the E. E here, this is evaluation. And And this can be a difficult one for many people. Without personal evaluation, you will never be transformed. Take a moment on that. Without personal evaluation, you will never be transformed. If you never take the time to evaluate your thoughts, to evaluate your belief system, to evaluate where you are, to evaluate your worker mindset, if you never take time to evaluate that, you might change. You might get a new position, but you'll never be transformed. You'll never become new. You'll never step into that person that you know that you've been designed to be. Guys, I ask this question all over the country. How many of you know that there's something still in you that you haven't accessed yet? Now, it's one thing for a 20, 25-year-old to go, yeah, there's more in me, because you're 20 and 25. You just haven't been alive long enough. But man, when a room full of 50 and 60-year-olds are raising their hand, yeah, I know there's more in me that I haven't accessed yet. Guys, something's up. And I think a big piece of what's up is we haven't taken the time to evaluate. We haven't taken the time to successfully evaluate where we are. And because we don't evaluate, we don't become transformed. We want to be out here, but we feel like we are always here. We're never able to achieve. And for me, if you're me and Jessica's the same way. Dadgum, I want to be out here. Forget this one. I want to be out here. And so what goes on is life, the universe, God will say, okay, I want to get you there. But to get there, we've got to go through that. We've got to go through this. We've got to go through that. There are things that they're going to have to experience in life. And all along the way, you're going to have to grow in your measure of skills, knowledge, character, becoming viable at a new level, changing your mindsets, and moving forward. Does this make sense? Now, I've got some other things on here. It's, the wells of wealth, which again, I do a whole workshop on the 15 wells of wealth. We're not diving into them today, but the notes are there. These are things for you to move from just being a worker to moving into actually being able to make money. We talked a little bit about this earlier in our last session about how do I make money? Because right now, Clay, I'm getting paid minimum wage by the hour. Okay, that's better than asking for money all the time. Hey, Dad, can I have money? That's where we all start. We ask for money. And the next thing we do is we trade for money. I'll give you time, you give me money. Does that make sense? And then all of a sudden we get a salaried position. Hey, that's cool, all right? But now we still aren't making money. What's happening now is we are simply working for money. Okay, does that make sense? We're working for money. But where I want to get is this place called making money. This next place of being able to make money, that is when, Reuben, you make money out of nothing. You're making money without having to put the time, without having to put the work into it. Money is made. That is a beautiful place to be. And it's possible, it's out there, but very few people find it. Most people get stuck in asking for money. All right? Can I have a loan? Can I get a credit card? Dad, will you give me some money? Again, there's a time in life where asking for money is just fine. But we have to grow out of that. Then we move to trading. Trading for money. Then from there, we work for money. And then finally, we make money. Very, very few people get to this place. Very few people. So you'll see there in the wells of wealth, one thing that you need to learn how to do really well is sell. If you don't know how to sell anything, you will be limited to the amount of money you will be able to make. If you can't sell, you will always be limited to what people will pay you. But if you can sell, then you can make infinite amounts of money. So we're going to stop there in our final session here of winning in the workplace. I hope this has been helpful for you personally in your position. How can I become a star employee? How can I get the job that I want to have? How can I stand out? How can I become viable? How can I become a great employee at the worker level? In our next session or in our next level, we get into all of the team building. How do I become an influencer? What is that all about? And how do I maximize that level of becoming a team builder? Appreciate you guys being with us. I enjoyed spending time with you. Bye-bye.